Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them and I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We're continuing our run of Excalibur and Inferno and all things X related. We're looking at Excalibur number 7 from 1989. It is part of the Inferno crossover. I have an Excalibur playlist. I have a New Mutants playlist up until Chris Claremont left. I have a X-Men playlist, a Wolverine playlist, all sorts X related. I even have a playlist where everything is um, put together in reading order. And so here we go. We got a very busy cover here telling a lot of what's going on inside. We've got this demon marrying Phoenix. We've got evil Megan holding Captain Britain. We've got these demons. We've got Ilyana fighting with the Soul Sword. And we got Nightcrawler up here. And this is all just full of all demonic type creatures. And so here we go. Cover is by Alan Davis with Paul Neary. All right, here we go. All right, so this is again happening during Inferno. We've got the Empire State Building here. Nice vertical panel. Just so overgrown here. We got the demons grabbing all the humans here. And we've got this demon here called Crotus. And he's a little pissed here. Crotus serves him faithfully, does all he commands and more. Is Crotus rewarded? Ha! And then all of a sudden he is looking and is surprised by something he sees. You see this big smile on him. You see just all sorts of stuff. People getting... Inferno was such a weird crossover. It was fun. I remember reading this kind of it was confusion and at the same time really cool story. So we got this teddy bear slashing the other teddy bear. So all right, and so we got our title, Goblin Morn, and we see Rachel Summers, the Phoenix, here in this bridal gown, and Crotus is like, it's her. And we see a fallen Nightcrawler here. Chris Claremont's our writer. Alan Davis is our penciler. Paul Neary is the inker. Rest in peace, Paul Neary. I say Neary because Near is near, so I figure it's I just figure I don't think it's near I, so I just say Neary. So if I am mispronouncing it, I apologize here. And so, no Tom Orzechowski lettering, and Glynis Oliver still continues to be Chris Claremont's colorist. Terry Kavanagh and Tom DeFalco finish the editorial. I do have a playlist where I started with, from the very beginning, with Excalibur, so feel free to check that out. And so the demon Crotus is very happy, and he's like, Crotus, you lucky devil, whatever did you do to deserve this? And he's like, former Mothta. And I can't ever say the demon's name, Nastre. Sacrificing everything to possess the power of the Goblin Queen because of Madeline Pryor's link, teensy tiny though it is, to the Phoenix. And so he's carrying the Rachel mannequin through him, or with him, to the Phoenix of all the primal forces of all creation. Foolish Mothta. Why bother with that facsimile when the real thing is at hand? She was human once, but for all her might, Inferno ensnared her and made her this plastic statue, Bad for Phoenix, great for Crotus. So we're getting a recap of everything that happened before. And so with the sorceries of my master, of my masters, I don't know what that is. Grimoire must be a spell book. I can bind the phoenix to my will, and with that power, Crotus will rule everything. Won't that be nice? You're smiling. That means you approve. Crotus is glad. So, all right. So now we're going to continue where we sort of left off at the movie theater. We see these demons grabbing these people. The film also now grabbing them, pushing them through. And we've got Kitty Pryde taking on Captain Britain. I love that. Brian Braddock is Fastbuck. Kitty Pryde is the victim. Fastbuck in Teen Bimbo War Gore Shocker 23. So, all these people are being pulled into the movie projection here. Inferno was, like I said, it was pretty weird. We've got Brian Braddock here, kind of as the Terminator, as Rambo, as Freddy Krueger, as whatever else weird stuff in the 80s. You see the people as they come through, they're being transformed like into the stuff people wear in Afghanistan. So Kitty wants to talk things through. Brian, of course, is saying, "You dare challenge the might of the Goblin Princess." That would be Megan, who was transformed in the previous issue. And he's like, going to shoot her. So she phases out, but she realizes that although he can't touch her, that he has to stop him. And because the people that are there can't phase, so she becomes solid, kicks him, but then he's able to grab him, and he's like, "You're such a little bit of a girl." So she phases again as he tries to slash her, and so he's going to grab her, and he's like, "Are you gonna kill me?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry." And then he kind of goes into the Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees type thing here with the hotkey mask. It's just so weird and so cool at the same time. I really do like Alan Davis's art. And so you see Kitty now transforming kind of into a cheerleader. So, all right. Back in New York, you see the sanitation thing picking up Nightcrawler like he's garbage. He's like, "Man, all these people here causing such a mess here." So he swallows him, and he lands in there. All the people think he's a demon like all the others, and he tries to explain, but of course they're frightened, so they all start to fight. He's like, "No, I'm a mutant," and then he's like, "Wait, that's probably bad too." And so as everybody's fighting him in there, this thing's starting to feel bad and spits everybody out, and then they all run away here. And Nightcrawler is like, "I do not believe any of this. Has New York gone mad, or have I?" So meanwhile, Kitty's running. I love the tropes here from 80s horror films. Those are so cool. And so she finds this locker. She's in Xavier's school. And of course, we see Doug Ramsey. She believes the X-Men are dead, but Doug Ramsey actually is dead. He died in Fall of the Mutants. That is the last New Mutants I actually covered. I haven't covered Fall of the Mutants since, but I am going to do Inferno, all 3 issues in one as soon as I'm able to. So, so she opens up and sees Doug Ramsey in there, and of course he's like, "You need to find your own locker," because he's hiding, and Kitty, of course, knows he's dead, so she's found there by Captain Britain, or no, the I like this, the custodian. So no, not Captain Britain, but he is a spoof of Freddy Krueger, and she tries to run away, but he gets her with this arm, very Freddy Kruegerish, and this is really well done. All the tropes from horror movies are there. So, um, Nightcrawler's kind of talking to himself, monologuing, kind of giving exposition to the readers here, and giving a recap of what's happening in there with Inferno. And then this gargoyle starts talking to him, and then he's like, "Whoa!" And he's like, "You're alive." He's like, "Actually, more accurate term is animate." So they talk a little bit. He gives him some encouragement, and Nightcrawler is going to leave. Sees these mannequins attacking these people. Nightcrawler goes in to help, and they go through and they go into the Forbidden Planet comic book store, which I don't think exists anymore. So, I maybe it is still there. I really don't know. I obviously don't live in New York, but I know they were struggling for a while. So I don't know. Maybe they're still there. I don't know. I just remember seeing all their struggles. So, but anyway, here we go with some stuff happening, and fantasy, reality, kind of just juggling into one. And so here come the mannequins, and everybody's like into phasing. Again, this is a really nice um, issue, kind of being done by Claremont to sort of keep Excalibur involved in the Inferno struggles, even though they don't really meet anybody else, the X-Men or the New Mutants or X Factor. So, all right, and so then the mannequins kind of merge. So kind of weird. And so here we go. We've got dead Wolverine, and it turns out here is the Goblin Princess, and all the X-Men dead, being hung up. This is really cool visuals being done here. Alan Davis, again, really good. And so Kitty's mad. He's like, "You don't have the right to do this. This is obscenity." And then the Soul Sword. This is like Illyana's armor appearing here. And so this was Captain Britain, and we're gonna. I believe this is Captain Britain here, but regardless, she turns off the lights, and then it comes, and Kitty's in a dress here, and there's a band there, and here comes Captain Britain, and they are going to have a dance. Only now, this is a dance to the death. She's gonna watch as they drop dead, because they're gonna dance until they die. And so in the back, everybody's shooting at these mannequins. He sees Phoenix. He says, "Ha, I think I know now what's going on." So he's going to grab the Phoenix mannequin, and he's going to see if he can use that to merge it with the real Phoenix. And the gargoyle, he gets trapped, but the gargoyle saves him. And they're going to go look for Phoenix. Meanwhile, we continue the dance. She's in shape and was a dancer. She's remembers Stevie Hunter. Again, I have a playlist. We've covered all these things. And he collapses because he just can't keep this up. And she tries to help him. Megan uses her magic to grab Captain Britain here, and she is going to now change the scenery again, or the setting. And so now here we got the demon trying to marry Phoenix here, and by this evil priest here. And the real wedding is gonna create a spell here, which is completed. Meanwhile, back here into this demonic type thing, everybody rejoices. Look at poor Captain Britain here. Here comes Kitty, and she's got the powers of Ileana, including the Soul Sword. And Captain Britain's gonna rush her, but the Soul Sword destroys spells, and when she hits him, he reverts back to normal. And so he frees her there. And of course, we get a little bit of exposition here. The sword and armor manifested themselves the moment I appeared before the castle. The last time that happened was when Ileana was murdered by the Beyonder. That was in New Mutants 36 and 37 and X-Men 203. So, she continues, they reverted when he resurrected her. Didn't think much of it afterwards. Didn't want to. Does this mean something's happened to Ileana? And of course, that is in New Mutants. I have not covered it as of this recording, but I am going to get into Inferno. And then, of course, she says, no, not her too. Wasn't Doug Ramsey and the X-Men dying enough? It isn't fair. Of course, she doesn't know the X-Men are still alive. And so, because she's distracted by her mind, Megan is going to overtake her and make her into this evil creature. And all of a sudden, something's happening. And Kitty says she's weakening, just like Brian did. And so he throws the soul sword at her, and everything now is going to start going back to normal when Nightcrawler shows up here. He grabs the book, closes it, dispatches this demon here, and the gargoyle throws the mannequin at Rachel. Crotus is gonna get away, and suddenly we have a merge. Here comes the Phoenix. And Rachel is back again, but the gargoyle is destroyed, and Nightcrawler is sad because it was his friend. So everybody's running out of the theater. For some reason, these two, she apologizes to do, but then they make out. This is not normal human beings. I know that movies make us pretend that people can have sex and make out in just the weirdest, worst circumstances as they're being hunted by killers or stuff has happened. But most people are like, oh, this is, but you know, it is the 80s, late 80s. So, and so she thinks that of the soul sword, and she really cut him, and wonders everything that's happened here. And then, of course, Crotus is alone. I don't think they ever do anything with him. And because, you know, Inferno is almost over. And so, next, Excalibur's New York adventure. So, all right, Excalibur number 7 by Chris Claremont, Alan Davis with Paul Neary. Really good book. It's I haven't read this in forever, and it was really nice reliving this with you guys. So, like and subscribe. I do thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.